right, peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. I was going to do a video before this about the rituals in sports, but one of my loyal Patreon subscribers had asked me an interesting question in regards to an artist. So I figured I would do a video on this specifically. All right, and in this video, I'm gonna be talking about humiliation rituals. All right, a lot of people don't really have a clear understanding on how these things work as far as with rituals, and they may believe that these people don't, all of these rappers are not in it and all of this stuff. I'm gonna break it down step by step of the ways that people get in the game and then the rituals that they gotta partake in. All right. Like I said, after this video, you pretty much have a clear understanding of who's in what and what's going on, to give you some detail on how this business works. All right, don't matter if you a rapper, an actor, whatever, model, whatever, sports, whatever. You're gonna have to partake in some type of form of a ritual, whether they know it or not. All right. So let's start off with how most people or most individuals get into entertainment. All right. Now, I kind of broke this down before for y'all, but I'll tell y'all again, so you have a clear understanding of how this thing works. All right. And you'll be able to see exactly how things take action. All right. But I'm gonna give y'all some details and let y'all know exactly how this all transpires. So you'll know when you're watching your favorite celebrity on TV and things of that nature. So when most people get in the game, okay, they go through the belly of the beast. Now, we spoke on the belly of the beast before, all right? But I want to give y'all a clear understanding of what these things actually conscribe themselves of, all right? So, and now if you out there and you want to be an entertainer, you're going to have to do one of these things, all right? You're going to have to do one of these things to get in the game, all right? So, you a rapper, all right? And you want to get in the game, okay? Now, there are two ways that most people get their feet wet. When I say get their feet wet, meaning that they get a buzz in the industry, okay? Pretty much a way for them to be heard by the general public, all right? You sitting at home, you recording your songs, nobody hear your music, you trying to build a fan base, right? Now, way number one is basically through your local drug dealers. All right. Now, a lot of these rappers that come in the game, right? They're funded, okay, by the local neighborhood drug dealer or somebody that has some type of ties, okay, to a financial stability, okay, to afford to put money into this artist. All right. Now, if this artist comes with lack of talent or lack of ambition, okay, because in order for you to make it, you have to have ambition, all right? So if you come with lack of talent and lack of ambition, they will not deal with you, okay? So now, when you come in through this local drug dealer, all right, this is a form of entering the belly of the beast because you are now, what you're doing, you're now not physically, but morally selling your soul, okay? Because you're being funded by some type of source, all right, funding that is not legitimate, all right? Now, this is what they call blood money and dirty money. However that person got that money, to fund your career. Okay, now here's another thing I want to put out there is that a lot of these young rappers, okay, that we are seeing today that are dying at such a young age, okay, have signed with these companies, all right. And now, when these individuals, these rappers, don't make that money back, all right, they're now placed on a hit list. Okay, so when you sign, okay, so here's the thing: when you sign with a independent label, right, your neighborhood drug dealer that just wanted to start a label, okay, and you sign with this guy, all right, he's putting out a life insurance policy on you, all right, so that way he can receive his money back. So when we see a lot of these young guys that are signing to these deals, or they try to venture off and go do deals with other people and get signed in with major corporations and cut out their old company, that's when these drug dealer companies, all right, they put a hit out on the rappers, all right. So this is why all of these things are happening, all right. And we see it time after time. When you guys want to become artists and things of that nature, you have to be very careful. That's why I always tell y'all, read your paperwork. All right, read it. Take it to a lawyer. I don't care if you in the crib eating oodles and noodles and you need a deal right now, and this is the first person that comes up to you. If you've never heard of this company before, all right, after you just performed at a showcase, okay, you should do your Googles on them. Find out what they're about, where they came from, who are they. If you don't have no back history, if the CEO of the company doesn't have any back history in the music industry, then you basically know that it's being funded with some type of illegal money. All right, and those are the labels that you kind of want to avoid. Yeah, they get your feet wet, and you'll be in the industry. You'll get heard by a lot of people because they're gonna fund your career. They're gonna pay for advertisement. All right, but the consequences of not fulfilling that contract is very dangerous. Okay, very, very dangerous. All right. Now, another way for people to get their feet wet, okay, in the business, all right, is pretty much some sort of demoralizing themselves, all right? So, if you are a rapper, let's take a rapper for example, okay, and you want to build a buzz around your name, okay, there's numerous ways of doing this. Some people used to use social media to embarrass themselves, okay, and create some type of narrative, all right, for people to actually go out and listen to their music, all right. But these are ways that people get their feet wet. Okay, you're still dealing with the belly of the beast because you're doing things that are against your morals. Okay, to get heard, all right, just to be seen, all right. So we see this time and time again with individuals, and it just it doesn't stop, all right. Now let's get into something very interesting that a lot of people have confused as far as with humiliation rituals, all right. Now, a humiliation ritual, okay, does not derive with Satanism. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get that confused to think that Satanism or any type of group or ethnic has anything to do with humiliation rituals. This is a small concept, okay, of going through what you may call a secret society. Okay, so let's just say your uncle, okay, is in a secret society, or your aunt is in a sorority, okay, and they see that you have talent, all right. They will approach themselves and say, hey man, we think you got something with you. I know a couple of people that can help you out in what you're trying to do. Okay, now the average person will take the bait because they've never had an approach like this before. All right, and when this person usually does, okay, they have to go through certain things, all right, whatever that organization decides for them to do, okay, they have to go through it. Now, humiliation rituals consist of involving themselves in embarrassing situations. All right. Now, I kind of broke this down before, but I'll break it down again of each individual humiliation ritual that, takes place. All right. Within this business. Okay. So it has, like I said, it has nothing to do with Satanism or selling your soul to the devil. It's basically going through a hazing stage, is what they do in fraternities and sororities, right? So when this individual takes up the offer from uncle said aunt or uncle, right? They are now, okay, obligated to fulfill certain duties, okay? So the aunt or the uncle may say, hey, I want you to join this group here, okay? They won't tell them exactly what group it is, but they say, hey man, come with me to this meeting here, all right? And the individual will go, all right? And now they may not know what's going on around them or who these people are, but they'll see the importance of them and the way they're being treated around these individuals, okay? Because now you're going to be our prime star, all right? And you're going to make money for us, okay? So this is how a lot of these things start to happen when these people get indoctrinated into these groups and organizations. So when you see Shaq and Webster and Lionel Richie and all of these other people hanging around these sororities and frats and things of that nature, okay, they basically have been brought into this, okay? These people are trying to grow in numbers, okay, so that they can dominate the world, all right? This is the whole prime factor. So they'll use entertainers and things of that nature because these people have the most influence on the world, all right? But humiliation rituals consist basically of 3 types of ways of humiliation, okay? Now, okay, so you've seen there, Whack 100 basically explained that these photos were real, okay? Now, when Playboy Cardi had first came out, he appeared to be a straight male, okay? So as Little Uzi, all right? So as Young Thug and all of these other people, right? When these people, okay, they get involved with these groups, all right, they have to partake in some form of humiliation, all right?
I really don't even want to be explaining to y'all, because y'all gonna believe what y'all want to believe anyway. So shit. But hey, anyway, all the gay jokes and all the shit, cool. I know what the I got going on with me. Nick, that video, well, them videos old as like 4 years ago, nigga about 18. Tripping. Young as broke his hell. Catfish, really, a bitch. Come in my DM, you know what I'm saying? Saying she gonna pay me to do this and do that, and you feel me? Didn't even know no other behind this shit.
We've heard these things before and seen them before with people such as Soulja Boy, okay, Cameron, all right, Little Bow Wow, all of these people we've heard that partook in these situations, all right, and they brought it on themselves, okay, they brought it on themselves, all right, because they chose to go into this lane. All right, just like we see with Isaiah Rashad. Okay, Isaiah Rashad is an artist that is on Top Dog Entertainment, and he also mentioned that they were trying to embarrass him. Okay.
At that time, we got to talk about your guys' favorite rapper, a rapper by the name of Isaiah Rashad.
Isaiah Rashad.
Yo.
So Isaiah Rashad is
trending recently?
Shout out to Isaiah Rashad, man. I know we never.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I
wanted to make sure he was okay.
What do you think it's gonna do to his career?
It ain't gonna do nothing to his career but boost it. It's fucked up that it had to happen to him.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Mr.
So a clip of Isaiah Rashad.
Purpose of doing that was to try to embarrass him. But, however, it backfired.
When his video leaked, his streams and everything went up. He's up on the charts now.
Niggas be like, oh, Isaiah Rashad, he doing this, he doing that, he doing this. Bro, why is you so worried about what another man is doing?
All right, so when we see these things, all right, and we notice this is taking place, even with the R&B artist Tank.
21 years old. I've eaten a lot of pussy. I'm what they call an expert on the subject. I've been sucking dicks and foreheads for 20 years. Well, damn! So as I sing this song, I want...
All right, so when we see these things, you know, now here's the thing, right? Whether these individuals are actually partaking in some sort of fellatio with these CEOs of these companies, because that's exactly what's going on. All right, when they go into these rooms and they sitting down signing these contracts with these individuals and they want to level up. You know, the CEO may ask them, hey, do you want to make this amount of money? Okay, behind closed doors, hey, I need to speak to you. Okay, if they find that spark in them or naiveness in them, okay, they'll instantly bring them in. Hey, I need to speak to you, all right, behind closed doors. And they'll bring that individual into that room, all right, and once they're behind those doors of that room, all right, anything goes, okay, and now this person has a dark cloud over them, all right, is now being blackmailed by the industry, and if you don't do as what they tell you to do, okay, you are now going to be exposed, all right? So the minute that these people get wind of what they're doing and they don't want to do it anymore, okay, they will get exposed. It's the same concept of people that practice magic, okay? If you stop doing magic today, okay, you will go back to being broke, all right? It's the same concept, all right? You have to be committed to whatever you're doing. If you're not committed, then you will fail miserably, all right? And it's the same thing in the business. Now, another form of humiliation ritual, it would be pretty much consisting of falling, all right, in a public place, all right? Now, you may say to yourself, what is the concept of this? But I spoke on this briefly before, but I'm going to bring it up in more detail and clarity so you guys will understand, all right? Now, being a public figure, this can happen to anyone, all right? But purposely done, okay, is a form of embarrassment, okay? Now, these usually these times when people fall off a stage, it's actually immortalized with the internet, all right? And now that this has been a thing of popularity with a lot of artists, it's like the first time an artist falls on stage, okay, it's posted on every blog site or social media, okay, for the world to see, okay, because this is a ritual that's being done behind closed doors. It's the same thing as hazing, all right? When you guys are watching basketball, when these basketball players smack each other on the behind and all of that stuff, that's a ritual. That's a form of hazing, okay? And now it's been indoctrinated into real life basketball, all right? When you go to the court and, you know, you playing ball with your homie smack your ass. You like, whoa, you know, and it's subjected in your mind to think this is normal because NBA does it, right? But you're partaking in a ritual, all right? That's not normal for another man to smack another man's behind. That is boule activity, okay? So when you're watching these basketball games and you're seeing one basketball player smack another basketball player's behind, okay, that's to let them know that they are partaking in a ritual. Okay, that is a ritual. All right. Most of these sororities, okay, when these individuals join these sororities, all right, they make them bend over with a paddle and smack their behind. Okay, we've seen this numerous times in TV shows and movies, all right, where they partake in these situations. So when we see that in sports, and then it trickles down into, your high school basketball games, and going to the park playing ball with your boy, and it's not supposed to feel right. Okay, it's not supposed to feel right for another man to smack you on your behind. All right, so now, like I was saying, a ritual that is done takes place as falling. Now, when individuals fall, okay, like I said, it's a form of humiliation, okay, because this is posted up on every social media site, all right? It's broadcasted, all right? So when these people have fallen, okay, now notice that when they fall, they always disappear into the ground, all right? This is a form of them submitting their will to Satan, all right? Going underground, all right, to the point where you can't see them anymore, all right? This is an exception that a lot of these entertainers take along their path to success, all right? And, it can be numerous ways that can be done. Now, these humiliation rituals usually consist, all right, of, like I said, frats, sororities, secret societies, all kind of groups and organizations that will promote, okay, these artists to you daily, all right, on a daily basis, because they control the medium, all right, and promote these artists to you on a daily basis, okay, so that you will constantly see them. And then when you see them constantly, all right, they will make money for that group, all right? It's the same thing. In order for a group to actually exist, it has to be funded, okay? It has to be funded, all right? So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to work on the rituals in sports next, all right? But I hope you guys have a blessed week and stay safe out there, and peace.